Okay, here it is, the explanation for exercise debugging 4-3. As you can see, I just put everything on Visual Studio. It's easier. Later I can show you how to do it on MindTap. What I will say is always look for the first error. You can do it several ways. Basically here you can see like the red dots at the side. If you click here, it will point you to the part where the error is, or you can look at the error list and double click in the first error. That's important because the first error can actually generate many errors. For example, here the mistake is that we ended this with semicolon. As soon as you put a semicolon, it ends whatever the statement is. So the compiler will assume that this is a new one. So for example, year has to be declared as an integer. Now, I am assuming that it's going to be an integer because later the intent of the programmer, it says convert to integer from input string. So let me write int, and now see all the errors that were related to year specifically are gone. Okay, now read line. Here it tells you, when you point it to it, it tells you the name readline does not exist in the current context. If I was not looking well, I will look for this statement, because if you don't have this statement, then you cannot use just readline. You will have to write console.readline. However, that's not the case because it's used here. But notice that it's an uppercase L. So that's what is missing here. So there are no more errors. So now there are syntax errors, but there are also logic errors. So let's run the program to see what do we have here. How many credits? Actually, I made a mistake of not reading the program statement to see how this runs. Supposed to run. Okay. Actually, it's in the comments. Okay, from 1 to 12 credits is 150 per hour. From 13 to 18, it's a flat fee of $1,900. Over 18 will be $1,900 plus 100 per credit hour over 18. Okay, so let's see. How many credits? Let's say 10. So we know that it will be 150 per credit hour. So let's say 10. Year in school. Oh, well, that's another. Okay, if year in school is 4, there is a 15% discount. Okay, so let's say that it's just 3, so no discount. Oh, okay, I forgot something. If you're in Visual Studio, the last statement, you have to put the last statement readline, because you want the window to stay. So let's do the same thing. How many credits? 10. Third year in school. Okay, with 10 credits, tuition is $935. Okay, let me see. That doesn't sound right to me, because if we are going to have, say, 1 to 12 is 150 per credit hour, and I just put 10, should be 150. So let's see the computation. Okay, so now let's say low credits is 12. So it says if, okay, here is the input. Let's separate this a little bit. Oh, okay, I cannot do that. if credits is greater than low credits, which is 12, else if credit is equal to high credits, which is what? 18, and then the tuition is flat, else the tuition is flat plus credits minus high credits multiplied by rate. Okay, here there is a problem here in, I would change all this, but basically the issue here is here. And we need, like when this is 3, excuse me, when this is 10 and it's 3, not 4, this will actually just multiply the amount of credits by 150, which obviously should be, 1500. So right now it's giving us actually let me show you something. Let me stop this and show you something that you can do in Visual Studio. Let me put this is a point that you can actually stop the program while you're running, and you're going to see what is going on. So I'm going to enter 10. You're in school 3. Okay, now it stops, and you can run this step by step. And let's see what's going on. I'm going to do this, which is F10, step over. So I'm going to click here. Now notice, okay, let me see what the low credits is 12 and credits is 10. So this is false. It will go to the else. So see, it goes to the else, and now we have is credits equal to high credits, which is 18. That is false. So it should go from this else, from this if, excuse me, to this specific else. So let's see. As I said, so now we have the tuition is flat, which is 1900, plus credits, which is credits, let me see, credits was 10, minus high credits, 18. That, this is a total failed logic because this is 10 minus 18, that should be negative 8. And then 1900 plus negative 8. So you can see that this whole thing is basically wrong. So the logic, actually, I'm not going to do that for you, but the logic, according to this, and the whole issue of the logic here in this portion, if you read this, it should be, you should test that if it's less than or equal to 12, then you just multiply the credit hour by 150. Else, you already tested that if it's less than 12. So what you can test here is else if it's less than or equal to 18, then it's a flat fee. And you well, you don't have to do anything. The tuition will be just $1,900. And then else, anything else, it will be 18 hours or more, actually over 18 hours, then it will be the $1,900 plus $100 per credit. So for example, if it's 20, you will have to say that it's $1,900 and then take the credits, which is 20, minus 18, and then that, which will be 2, and then multiply that by 100. Also, after doing this computation, I will actually design a whole if, else, if, multiple if, else, is for this section here. this section could be after that if else. And then you can say, well, if your school is forward, then apply a 15% discount. You don't do that inside here because you don't know yet in which range this is. So that's basically what what you can do. And as you can see, this feature for debugging is helpful in Visual Studio. Like, you have a breakpoint. This is called a breakpoint, and when you run, you should go here, press press F10, the step over, and then you can analyze step by step what your code is doing. Okay. Now let me see if there are any issues here for a year with this many credits. Tuition is whatever the tuition was computed. I don't see any problems here. I haven't tested. Well, actually, yes, we did test that. So I don't see problems in this demo. So the actual logic issues are in this if statement. I hope this helps.